Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. And I have with me my wonderful co host, David from Tarot by the Bay.
Hey everyone, here's what I see when I have my glasses on. Poor readers.
You have joined us on Taco Tuesdays. This is where we talk politics, we take a look at different things, we kind of want to get a feel, a sense for how things are going, a little bit behind the scenes kinds of stuff. So, yeah, put your hip waders on because some of this could be a little mucky. It will. So, yeah, and we are simulcasting to both channels. So I will ask you to remember to go over, do like, share, subscribe. Make sure that you tune in to David's channel and give him the thumbs up and all that good stuff. Yeah, the stuff he really likes.
It was a hard week this week with subscriptions. I actually had back-to-back days where I lost subscribers. Must have been something I said. After I had a lot of growth in October through the beginning of November, and now I think sometimes I understand, a lot of people were really anxious with the House Speaker and stuff, and they've got that answer, and now they're going to clean up their accounts and do stuff like that. So I get there's backfill on that one, but it's like there's still that. Did I say something wrong?
I know. I thought you liked me.
Exactly. But it's been back up today, so life's good. Yay! Hooray for our team.
Yeah, exactly. It's it having been in sales most of my life, I appreciate that it goes up and it goes down. You never ever rest on your laurels, and you never think about, this is it, I'm walking out the door, because in the end it all balances out. But you have days where making sales with every phone call. Other days, nobody wants to talk to you. In fact, they're requesting that you not call them back. That.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. And thank you, all of you that are here that have joined us. I really, really appreciate you being here. So we've got Watcher 9997. Hello, Watcher. We've got Margot B, Pisces Reader, Gemstone Rhapsody. Hey, Gemstone. There's Tarot by the Bay. Louise Fode. Teresa Hadarian, 2535 Apple, Kelly. Hey, Kelly, Mystic Next Door. Hi there. Marby Gangora, Julie Torado, Carla Rutherford, Hilda Flores, Jenny W. Oh my gosh, there's so many of you. Christine Brooks, sorry. Becky Stone, Alicia Bell, Julie Torado, Jamie Johnson, Book Bewitched. Hey, Book. Book is a new subscriber.
Good.
Thank you, Buck. Okay. Oh, Sherry Voices from the Swamp is here. Hey, yes. Sherry.
Got Sherry in there.
Lisa DeHart. Oh, my goodness. There's so many of you. Okay, if I have missed anyone, I apologize. But, yeah, love to all of you. So glad you're here. So I wasn't sure if Sherry was going to be able to stop in, because I do have a little. Just a minute. I do have a little surprise for Sherry.
Those swamp critters, they get hungry this time of year. Sometimes it's hard to leave them. They'll take a leg.
Yeah, totally. Okay, all right. So I am just going to stop the camera for a minute, and then I'll be right back. But and I'll explain what I'm doing.
I have no idea what she's doing.
No idea. None. That's the way I like it.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Oh, look at that. Is that a pillbox hat?
That is, and it's one of those hats that were worn very often by what they used to call them stewardesses. And so I thought that I would get this so that when I do my hi, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for the portion of the journey. Play the part. So Sherry, this is your fault. Yes, no, I love it. I love it. I saw it and I thought, oh my goodness gracious, I have to have it. I
Is that
just
what's the emblem on the front of it? Is
it's
it actually a stewardess hat, or is it just a?
no, it very much mimics the old fashioned stewardess hat.
Okay.
Yeah. And I got the beige one and I got one in blue.
Oh, yes, you want that navy blue look. Sometimes it's baby blue.
Yes. Yeah. No, this one is navy blue. So, um, yeah, I remember Sherry saying one time, oh, probably a month, maybe a month and a half ago, we were doing a collaboration with someone else. And I started my, hi, my name is Marina, and, I'll be your guide. And Sherry started to laugh. And she said, we need to get you a hat or something so that, when you're saying that. Yeah. So when I came across this, I thought, oh, please, I cannot say no. I cannot say no. So, yes, Sherry, back when it was fun to go to the airport and fly, when people dressed up to go to the airport. Yeah. So thank you to all of you that have come in. And yeah, happy Thanksgiving. You guys are going to be celebrating Thanksgiving here in a
Yep.
couple of days.
Yep. I'm cooking a turkey at my mom's house on Thursday, and then I'm having folks over on Saturday, and we'll do it all over again. So,
Nice.
little small family gathering on Thursday, and then having friends over on Saturday.
Good. What time should I be there?
I think dinner will probably start between 4 and 5. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, latest in the news is Judge Scott McAfee in Georgia declines to basically send Harrison Floyd to jail over some of his recent social media posts. Now, for those of you that don't know, Harrison Floyd is a co-defendant with Donald Trump in the Georgia elections case. He was the only one who actually ever did any time. And that was, because he couldn't.
didn't want to post bail or couldn't post bail.
Yeah. I wonder, I'm shocked that his best friend, Donald, didn't come in to help him. But anyway, so yeah, part of the conditions of the release was that he not intimidate witnesses. He went on social media and he posted some things that really were more intimidating than not. So, yeah, I think, what's her name? Bonnie Willis. Yeah, I think she's the one looking after that. Anyway, she wanted to put him back in prison for not following the guidelines. Okay. His lawyers went to court and basically said, and I'll quote, "A review of President Trump's social media posts make the state's decision to go after Harrison Floyd hard to justify." Absolutely right.
Yep.
Absolutely right.
Pointing out the 2 tiers of justice. And actually, there's probably 3 tiers now with Trump. He's created a whole new tier.
Yeah. Oh my God. Hilda Flores says Trump was in her city with Scum Abbott. Yeah. That I kind of feel, Hilda, like he should pick up a whole bunch of sage and just drive around the city and sage everything.
Well, if they're sage in the desert, maybe just burn the state down. It'll sage itself on the way.
Yeah, for entertainment purposes only.
Clearly.
Okay, so I did want to take a look at that and see basically what message is the court sending to the other defendants regarding the social media. What message?
You don't even need to throw cards on that one.
I know, right? But
okay, what message is the court sending? Yeah. My logical mind says it's going to be a frickin' free-for-all. Because if you're going to let Trump do it and you're going to let this guy do it, everybody in between.
Exactly.
And just turn it into a circus. Let's see. Okay, what do we get? It might be a work in progress with this ruling. I'm hoping that's where we're going with this. They're hammering out. It might be that they're going to try and hammer out some details to try and put some guardrails up over this whole gag order and what you can and can't talk about. Yeah, and there's going to be a big push for this because otherwise it really will turn into a circus. And we really need, in the United States, we really need these court cases to be taken seriously. And I think that's why Trump and company are trying to make a mockery of it because they want to say it's a sham trial, it's kangaroo courts, when they truly are the ones that are the monkey house and throwing poo at everybody and saying it's the court's fault. In the past, I think right now this could be the gag order, or the court is now kind of being held hostage by the inmates. Another example of letting the inmates run the asylum. With what we've got here, what do we want? We want something that's fair for everybody through the whole spectrum of witnesses and jurists and people being accused and stuff along those lines. Underneath it all, by the way, is the moon card. So these details have not been worked out yet, and there's no small amount of craziness and confusion going through on how to make this workable. But there is a plan that's afoot. They are looking at how do we address this issue because we don't want this to happen in our court. And when they finally do, and they don't want to charge in just half-assed because you don't want anything challenged on appeal. So they have to look forward to what they're doing, but they have to move swiftly too because the court cases are coming up and you don't want to pollute the jury pool sooner rather than later. There's going to be something put in though. Queen of Cups are going to put a lid on this thing, at least with the most outrageous of the of the behaviors. They'll probably have wide leeway to talk about things, but they probably will. They'll have to go on and discuss about obstruction of justice and put some reasoning that you can't talk about these things because you're obstructing justice, and if you do that, you'll get additional charges thrown on it.
Yep, absolutely. And yeah, she says your glasses match your shirt. We were talking about that before we went live. That his headphones. He's very well coordinated.
Yeah, for whatever reason, my setup tends to cause an echo on Marina's end, and so I've been using headphones. And I took them out just to test it, and all of a sudden the echo went away. So no headphones, matching phone case, matching Yeti speaker, matching cup, and actually green. Yes. Green is my favorite color, not blue.
Is your favorite? Yeah. I thought that was so cute. Yeah, she. Very good. And by the way, thank you everyone that has come in before I had a chance to say hello to you. I appreciate each and every one of you being here and sharing your lovely energy with us. And I absolutely agree. David is a riot. So there. Okay. What I got is that this is the Four of Wands. This is there needs to be a unified message that is going out to everyone. And so far, there is no unified message. It's a case of everybody for themselves. The Five of Wands, yeah, this is, people who are, they're short-sighted. They're not seeing what's happening with anybody else. They're all just looking at what's in it for me, me. That can't work. And I understand that this is something that is new, that, there really aren't too many laws that govern what's going on now, because when things were set up, yeah, they couldn't imagine social media. They couldn't imagine a Donald Trump. So I think ultimately they are going to come together. They are going to be able to find some ways to for the judges at least to say, okay, no, in this case, they're all related. Going forward, this is going to be our message.
Yeah.
So I absolutely see that, and you're either on board or you're Five of Pentacles. You're out of luck. So someone is going to come in and is going to test it out just to see what happens, and Judgment is going to be right there to get them.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Judgment is going to say, listen, you need to take, with the Hermit, a little bit of time to reflect. And I think the best place for you to reflect is in this very safe and secure facility. Ultimately, I get the Empress, which is something new coming in, right? Birthing something new. So I think that they are going to find a solution. And I think it's going to be the judges that are going to come to some agreement, and to say, okay, you know what? You're not going to play us one against the other, which is another tactic that this was, right? It's like, yeah, Mom said no, go ask Dad. Well, the parents are going to get together. They're going to make the rules. So, yeah, just hope that it happens before this starts to get really, really ridiculous.
Yeah. They absolutely want to make it a circus.
Yeah.
They truly, truly do.
Yeah, absolutely. So now I know that you did a reading on Rosalind Carter, the day that she passed, and I thought, you know what, we might take just a quick look at her, because she really, really did have an extraordinary life, and she contributed so much, and I am ever grateful that she was around. And she was one of both her and Jimmy were really kind of the true heroes in things, is that they didn't, they did things quietly, and they did them because they were the right thing to do, not because there was cameras watching. Right. So.
Okay, let's see.
Thank you, Teresa Simpson. Everything YouTube. Oh, okay. Book Bewitched. Yes, absolutely. That happens. She says, I'll bet you everything. YouTube did a sweep of subs that signed up from someone else's channel and haven't made it back. They changed all the notifications from years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, Rosalind Carter. Message for the viewers.
Rosalind Carter.
Alrighty, come on down, folks. Let's see what Rosalind has for us. Good deeds, one step at a time. Going through, it's like going through your life plan, and taking measured steps. I don't think she or Jimmy Carter ever made big decisions on a whim. It was all part of a plan, maybe even her life plan. But you know what? All good things come to an end. Even a well-planned, well-lived life still comes to an end. So, do as much as you can before you run out of time, because time is finite. Good
Yeah.
Lord. So in the past, we have the death card, things coming to an end. Interesting, we might be actually be getting an afterlife thing here that's going on. It could very well be she's already planning her next life.
Oh my gosh.
So we've got the death card and the 10 of wands. I mean, you got two. The only thing that's missing is the world card to really drive this home. And there you go. Queen of Wands. Current situation is the Queen of Wands, reflecting back on her life, lessons learned, actions taken, and what are the, kind of like, okay, what's next? What am I going to do next when I grow up? What am I going to do when I grow up?
Yeah.
I have some of these cards. Yeah, it's deck's upside down. The overarching. I want to say that this is kind of like being limited in your choices, and I don't think she's limited in her choices. I think what she's saying is, I guess maybe when you come in to learn a life lesson, your choices are limited at that point. I think, but she's also, there you go, and she's also not a victim of anything. Now, I don't think she was really victimized much in this lifetime. She might have been dismissed because she was merely a woman in the time where, women couldn't get a freaking credit card or open a bank account with their husband's name, because clearly women need a big, strong man to do these things for them. How the hell did we ever survive all those decades? I think, her next lifetime, she may not be as constrained. Maybe she was a little bit constrained in this lifetime. When you're the first lady, the wife of a president, the husband's going to shine.
Yeah.
We'll see it. That's a balancing act. Okay. She's probably weighing her options, what she wants to do in her next lifetime. There's probably a couple of things. One is going to be more important than the other. But I think there's probably in her next lifetime, there'll be two things, one major and one minor thing that she wants to work on. And I think she's going to come back and she's going to be successful. Whether, I don't know if she'll be a wealthy woman or a woman of means, but I think she's going to make a difference and improve folks' life, much like she did in this one. And maybe, just maybe, she'll get to reap some of the rewards. Maybe her next lifetime might be what they refer to as one of those vacation lives, where, you did a lot of work in this one, you could take a break on the next one. You could be a wealthy woman who doesn't have a care in the world, living in your yacht in the Mediterranean somewhere, and just have a great, wonderful life. Take a break. We'll catch up to you on the next one. You can do some work on the next one. You earn some comp time for this one.
Yeah. You know what? I think, that kind of, it certainly resonates with my cards. And I start off with the 10 of Pentacles. Good. There's wealth, there's health, there's all kinds of good things that are there that are going to be waiting for her. And I think you're absolutely right. I get the sun, and following the sun, I got the star. So I think that you're right. She's saying, okay, listen, there's a few things I need to do. Let me back. Come on, let me back. I can go right now. She's she's very determined. And she was rather quiet in her life this time. I mean, she didn't push herself out there, not too much. She was very shy, but she learned how to overcome it, and she learned how to be Jimmy's best advocate. Like, she just, I remember her saying in one interview, well, people who don't know Jimmy Carter can't decide, but once they meet him, they love him. So, and she very much pushed him forward, did everything that she could. And I think that what her her main thing was um, honesty, being honest. Okay, being whatever the whatever was going on, whatever was being planned or whatnot, tell the truth. Just be honest, right? People aren't stupid. You can deal with them. You could absolutely tell them, and they'll understand. I think that also in her next life, she is going to continue to work for people that have less than what they should have. I think that she is going to be, again, a champion for the poor, a champion for those with mental illness or any kind of conditions that would put them on the outside, on the periphery of polite society. I think she's going to do that, and yeah, and she's going to do it with the Ace of Swords, the
Nice.
truth, nothing but the truth. Like, yeah, I I could absolutely see her coming back and just being one of those persuasive, um, yes, Sherry, yes, Southern Belle. Just, like the phrase, fragile like a flower, no, fragile like a bomb. So, um, yeah, I think she's got great things, and yeah, I always admired that about both of them. Is I am not um, I am not a religious person. I am a spiritual person, and I appreciate other people's spirituality. And these two, even though they were very, very committed to their faith, they weren't out there going thumping, Bible thumping.
Yeah.
Is what I'm thinking, right? And I admire that when you have that conviction of faith, you just don't have to scream it to everyone. Yeah. So God love her. Yeah, I think she is in for some extremely good things.
One of the things I did read about her when I was doing the research just before doing the channeled reading on her was that she she would sit in on the cabinet meetings. She
Yes.
wouldn't say a word. She just sat in the corner and she listened. And her logic was that when she and Jimmy would talk later on as husband and wife, she wanted to give him the best advice she could give him that was on an informed opinion. And when I was shuffling the cards, the card that flipped over was the Hanged Man. Just basically give him that other perspective of something. Folks get it locked into a certain way of thinking, and she'll give him something else to contemplate and think about. And your final message, yeah, people, so many comments on my feeds and even in the chat tonight that these were real Christians. These are the epitome of what Christianity is supposed to be. You don't proselyte. You don't go out telling everybody how wonderful you are. You just go out and do good things, and folks will figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. And they do. They are an example of what it is to be, Christ-like and whatnot. Yeah. And 25, 35, yes, total respect for each other. Absolutely. Yeah. I read too that shortly after they were married, he had an opportunity, or maybe it was after his father died. I'm not sure. But anyway, he made a decision to move the family without including her in that decision.
Oh, that's going to go over well.
She did not speak to him for the whole journey. Did not say a word to him. And he said, okay, not going to make that mistake again.
Yep.
So from that point on, they discussed everything. They came to a decision together and whatnot, which, yeah, that makes total sense. Not only for them, but for anybody who's married out there. Yeah, don't do that shit. It's not gonna. You won't win.
What could possibly have gone wrong? Big strong man tells the woman what to do.
Yeah, yeah,
Why am I
exactly.
sleeping on the couch again?
Yeah, yeah, totally. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to take a look at, um, and was um, the announcement that is imminent regarding the hostage deal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that is something that could be. They said that they might have a decision today, so it could be any moment that the decision comes in. And what they're talking about is um, pausing the fighting. Good. Um, and that there would be 50 women and children. And the way that it would go is that there would be 10 people released per day for 5 days. All of that sounds really, really good. And I think part of it is really, really good. What I'd like to know is what impact does it have on the families of those not being released? And yeah, you're right, David, when you mentioned before, is it, does it make them hopeful or does it make them depressed? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. You get it. We're going to go whole spectrum here. All right. Let's see. How will give us the spectrum of feelings or the general vibe for people that don't get their loved ones back as part of this hostage exchange or prisoner release?
Yeah.
Manifestation. Okay. So I'm not going to read it as illusion. I'm going to read it as, if it's kind of, and right now I would say hopeful. If the government can work out a plan that they can get 10 people back per day over 5 days, they should be able to keep doing this. This shouldn't be,
Yes.
If they can do it once, they can do it again. And so in that way, I think it gives it hope. Crossed with, but when is it our turn? When do we get our loved ones back? The waiting is the hardest part.
Yes.
And that's, Tom Petty song. And underneath it is the Queen of Swords. It's kind of a harsh reality that they don't have any control. The families have no control over who's released and who's kept. Maybe if they're thinking like, okay, if I've got a son or something like that that's taken, I'm probably an adult son, they're probably last on the list of people being let go, especially if women and children are going first. In the past, we've got the emperor. Probably, I'm assuming this is Netanyahu, ruling Israel with an iron fist and really was pushing it towards an autocracy on his own right. But we're asking about how, so looking at Netanyahu as a strong leader who this should never have happened in the first place. But here we are. So there's going to be already, I think, for anybody who's had family kidnapped and nobody's been returned yet, right now I think there's a festering anger with Netanyahu over this because they're going to look to their leader to be the one who gets this done. Current situation, here we go with the spectrum of emotions, sorrow and disappointment. But not all hope is lost. So I think when the folks are released and it's not them, it's going to cause a lot of hurt feelings, probably a little anger, a little jealousy. But I think they can also remind themselves that all hope is not lost yet. We're not going to lose hope over this because there's still a chance that this can happen again, and we'll get our loved ones on the next one. Overarching is the agreement. I think the folks in Israel probably want a ceasefire and having all the hostages back, and I think they would, let's have an indefinite ceasefire and get everybody back. I think they would like that. I don't think either side wants this conflict that's going on right now. You've got basically what you've got is extremists on both ends. You've got extremists in the form of Hamas that are just attacking Israel because of the anger and frustration that they've had that have built up over years of oppression. But at the same time, the folks who are in charge of Israel, they're like the right-wing extremists in this country. So they're just spoiling for a fight. They have all these military toys, and they want to use them, and they've got an enemy. This would be like, Mexicans or brown people coming over the southern border, launching rockets into Texas, and then Abbott and everybody saying, we finally get to start bombing Mexico. It's like, and everybody else is like, hey, we don't want this. But, the extremists want it on both ends.
Yep.
The lesson to be learned is the 9 of coins. Jeez. I don't know who controls who's getting released. I'm wondering if Netanyahu has some say on it and if money is changing hands. In other words, the wealthy and the powerful are being released first. And I hadn't even played that thought out in my mind until this card came up. I'm just thinking, okay, everybody's equal on that one. They're all hostages. No, there's probably multiple tiers of hostages too. Nobody's going to give a flying F about the poor people. But they're going to care about, the Americans. They're going to care about the wealthy people. So there's going to be a lot of pressure to get those folks out. Outcome, sorrow, disappointment. This isn't going to last. I would be, I'm curious if, this 5 of Cups, if it only lasts for like 2 days or 3 days, and then somebody violates the ceasefire and it's over with.
Yeah.
I'll bet you it goes for at least 2 days, and I'll bet you the third day something happens where they blow it, because you got you got 3 of Swords and you got the 3 of Cups, and you've got the 2 of Cups up here. So if I'm gonna just look at the cards and try and go with what they're showing me, 2 days of ceasefire, third day they get all up, and then there you go. I hope that's not the case. I really hope they go all 5. I really hope they have a ceasefire and get everybody back.
Absolutely. And that's, pretty much. I start off with Temperance, with, they're talking about it. They're doing the right thing. They're figuring out how they're going to do this and who's going to do what and whatnot. And it's crossed by the King of Swords. And when I put this card down, I thought, oh, shit. Netanyahu is going to find a way to blow it.
Yep.
So, okay. We start off with Temperance. He's going to do his thing just because. It's going to require people to make decisions, to decide kind of where they're going to put their focus. Is their focus going to be on getting rid of Netanyahu, or is it going to be of getting their families back? I think that what's going to happen is, we've got the whole world watching. So, there's a good bit of pressure to kind of do the right thing. I do think that, people are watching the efforts that are being made. They're looking at all the agreements, all the things. They're being positive about what could happen. I do think that, yes, absolutely, there are going to be some that are going to be released. And I think the general overall feeling that I get from this is, that there are some that are going to be very, very glad that that somebody's family is coming home. I do think that you're absolutely right. It has to do with money, because I get in their attitude. What's happening is, the Queen of Pentacles, right? This is the rich, the known, whatever. And right after that, I get the 9 of Pentacles. So again, we've got money happening there. it is going to come to light with the son that those are basically the ones that are getting out first. I think it's going to put some more pressure on Netanyahu as the again, he's the emperor in the end. He's going to have to explain why he did what he did, and I don't think anyone is really going to like it.
Nope.
Yeah. It's just, you know what, you're dealing these politicians are dealing with people's lives like, they're marbles, like inanimate things that don't mean anything. And yeah, this has to stop. This has to stop. Because yeah, the most of the people who are able to voice their displeasure um, at their families being taken hostage are basically the ones with means.
Yeah.
Right? So, and it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that at all. I was watching a program yesterday where they were talking about the part of the people that were taken hostage were a lot of Thai workers. Were they're basically agricultural hired hands.
Immigrants, yeah.
And here they were, and they were saying out of however many were there, the majority of them were killed on day one. What do they have to do with anything?
They're trash. It's like, and I hate that. Sorry for throwing it out like that, but it's like a fisherman netting fish, and you've got the ones that you want, and then what they call the trash fish.
Yeah.
They're in the way. They require resources, so yeah, they were treated like human trash.
Yeah. And this, I know the Thai government is apparently having an awful lot of difficulty in finding out who, what, where, but they think that there might be 4 or 5 of the men who were taken as hostages, and they might still be alive. Now, when it comes to negotiation, who's going to get out?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be at the bottom of the list. And again, what did they do? They went to another country to work to support their family. Really? Yeah. Really?
What a crime.
Yeah, exactly. And whatever. But there you go. Okay, I'm not going to say anymore. Otherwise, I'm going to start to get on my bandwagon. You know what I mean? Okay. Now the other thing. Well, I think we're gonna have enough time. I'm gonna leave Mike Johnson for the end. The other thing that I read about was Elon Musk is being sued by a 22-year-old graduate student because Elon Musk shared several tweets about him, and this guy just graduated university, is on his way, hopefully, to law school, and someone who quote unquote, looked like him was unmasked at a gay pride parade in Portland, Oregon. And they said that, the fellow in Portland, Oregon that was unmasked was Jewish, and that he was a neo-Nazi. Well, this poor guy says, oh, the day of that parade, I was in this other state. And, here's clips of me in this store or this restaurant or whatever. Didn't matter. As soon as this came out and Elon Musk started retweeting things that weren't true, really, really put a lot of attention on this young man, to the point that he and his mother had to move because of some of the threats they were getting. His Facebook page just lit up with people who were sending all kinds of nasty messages and so on.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, Elon Musk has decided that no, he's not going to remove the tweets. Yeah, he's just going to kind of leave them up there. Well, he's being sued.
Good.
Yeah.
Is this a defamation case?
It is a defamation case.
Good.
Yeah. So I'd like to know how that's going to go.
Okay.
And I'd like to see or hear Elon Musk in during a discovery or his deposition, because this was supposed to be him taking over was going to be the truth, the whole truth, everything was going to be well, here you are, you're spreading rumors, you have information that isn't true, and you're not about to correct it. So
it's funny, as you were talking, the Seven of Cups card just flipped. It's like, Elon's. I think he's going crazy. All right, how's this? What's the energy around this one? Let's start off with the Justice card, shall we? This is an auspicious start. Defamation case. I'm on board with that. Crossed with the Sword of Justice, the Ace of Swords. Oh, this kid's got a case, and he's got a case and a half against Elon. It's the freaking owner of Twitter.
Yeah.
And it's a direct connection between Elon's amplifying the post and the threat level going up. It's going to be a burden to prove because, Elon is wealthy and he's going to have a lot of money. So this case is not one of those ones that's going to be fought quickly, and probably it'll be a financial burden too. But if he has some good lawyers who might, work for part of the settlement, there's a lot of money that can be made in there too, I suppose, or at least for the infamy of it.
Uh-huh.
But I'm sure Elon's going to make it a long, drawn-out fight. Okay, so in the past we got the Wheel of Fortune. This was bound to happen.
Yep.
Elon is a professional troll, and he trolls people, and at some point he was going to cross a line that was going to cause harm. He is lucky as hell that this kid hasn't been hurt.
Yeah.
If this kid gets hurt, oh my God, it's really going to be. This could move outside the civil courts and go to the criminal court. So right now, but Elon had this coming. He's had this coming for a while. This is finally, he crossed the line. Current situation is Queen of Cups. The minute he files this defamation case, things are going to go radio silent. His kid's going to listen to his lawyers, and they're going to be doing their work. There might be I'm looking to see if a settlement comes out of this. That's why I'm curious if the settlement comes out. But Elon doesn't strike me as the guy who's interested in settling. He's interested in the guy being right, and he's got a lot of money to be right with. Overarching energy is the Six of Swords. I think there's going to be, even though he's got the Justice card and the drive for it, he's got to really think, do I want to go through this fight? I can just, I can keep a lid on it. I can go my own way and go quietly and go live my life, because this is going to be a hard fight. But if he decides that he's going to go for it, they'll keep a lid on things. Again, Elon could settle to keep a lid on this and kick this and have this kid go away. But here we go. The lesson to be learned is the World card. We're going to get closure to this. I really think this kid's going to fight this one. Mm-hmm. Elon had it coming, and Elon's going to pay the price for having it coming. What's going to be the outcome here? Yeah, Elon's paying some money. Elon is going to pay money. I don't know if he settles. It's going to be a hard case. If this goes to court, this kid's going to win. I think he's going to win, and he's going to win well on this one. And it won't be the money that kills Elon. It's going to be the humility of having lost to some 22-year-old.
Yes, absolutely. And this, oh, and I wish I could remember his name, but he was saying, look, um, this I'm just at the start of my job. I'm just at the start of my career, my life, and everything else. How do this could come up and affect me at any time, right? And whether it's true or not, it could follow me. So, yeah, I think that he's doing the right thing. So I start off with, yeah, the King of Wands. And that when I saw that picture, I thought, oh my God, yeah, that's Elon Musk.
It looks, I was going to say, it looks like him.
Totally.
Yeah.
What? I'm brilliant, right? No, not so much. Not
Go burn that card. put that card under the sage wand.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, he gets the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, things are starting to move against him. He has done things, and he has let things go by that have come to light that are not doing him any favors. I think in the short term, absolutely, it's a Ten of Swords. This is that that boy does have a good case, and he's basically fighting for the rest of his life. Yeah. And then, yeah, Ten of Swords, and then I get the Death card, and I think that I'm reading that as this could be the end of a lot of the things that Elon Musk has done. Elon Musk is going to be fighting. He's going to go in there. He's not going to take this lying down, but in the end, he finds himself a little poorer than he is right now. Mm-hmm. And he really very much has to hang on to what he has. Now, one of the things that I had said about when Elon Musk, when he took over Twitter, my sense was that this was a way for Putin to kind of to get his message out in front of people and to change the dialogue without Russia really being involved. So I think that what they said to Elon Musk was, go in there, buy it out, okay, and then trash it. Like, take it apart bit by bit from inside. Mm-hmm. We'll cover any expenses and whatnot, but go in there. I think I haven't been able to shake that feeling that this is not something that he's doing on his own. I think he is acting as an agent for someone. And yeah, he's entertainment purposes only. He's not right in the head, and part of that is because he is brilliant. He in a lot of ways he is very smart, and sometimes when you get that smart, you kind of go the other way, right? So that's kind of what I think of that. Yeah. All right. Last but not least, and I know you read on this before, is Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson went to Mar-a-Lago, and Mike Johnson is supporting President Trump, for president and whatnot. It's like, really, Mike? What is it that you're doing that you need to side with Donald? What do the two of you possibly have in common?
Well, if you were to listen to Alina Habba, Donald Trump's the most ethical man she's ever met. It's like, wow, that's a statement. I would ask my follow-up question, is he more ethical than you? Because, wow. I mean, I'm struck by the parallels between Kevin McCarthy screaming that Trump needed to be held accountable. And the minute he was House Speaker, within like a week or two, he's down at Mar-a-Lago kissing the ring, as it were.
Yeah.
And all right, so why is MAGA Mike going down there to visit Donald Trump? Get directions. I think they're going to be walking a similar path together here. Basically, when I want your opinion, I'll give it to you type of thing.
Yes.
And disappointment. Ooh, how interesting. I think Trump was basically telling him that Kevin McCarthy was a huge disappointment. He didn't follow the MAGA thing.
Yeah.
He didn't get done when he needed to get done. And Trump's probably even told him he's a little disappointed that, he pushed the budget down, because that wasn't a strong thing to do. That was kind of caving in. But, Trump's also transactional. So he went, yeah, I'll give you that one. But January better be different. We have temperance underneath here as well. So I think this is the integration of MAGA Mike with Donald Trump. And MAGA Mike has been a Trump supporter and done all sorts of things to help Donald Trump. And they're now Donald Trump is now integrating his policies with MAGA Mike into the House policies. In the past, we have the Six of Coins. I think this is Trump would tell MAGA Mike that I did so much for you, which is so untrue. MAGA Mike is doing so much for Donald Trump, and all he gets is crumbs back. So I think maybe Trump understands that MAGA Mike has actually done a bit of work for him in the past. But Trump is also one of those guys that, you know what, if you don't collect on your debt the second you deliver, you might as well not bother collecting on it, because he's going to forget. If he promised you $5 million, you might get $5,000 if you wait a week, and you might get $5 if you wait more than a week, type of thing. Okay, so there's Trump. This card came up yesterday. Here he is sitting in Mar-a-Lago, master of the house. Come on in, kiss the ring, do all this stuff. Oh, you have favors to ask me. Come visit the Dawn. Yes. And I'll tell you what you need to do. He's going to tell MAGA Mike that, MAGA Mike's strong. MAGA's behind MAGA Mike. MAGA is behind Trump. MAGA is the path forward on this one. Don't disappoint MAGA.
Exactly.
And look at that card. Because, and again, MAGA doesn't compromise on anything. Their values are, they want what they want, and they ignore the bad stuff. They have no integrity whatsoever. They don't take the good with the bad. They only want the good. And they're crazy. They don't compromise on anything, which is why we're in so much trouble with the Republican Party right now, is between the non-MAGA folks, they don't have a spine between the lot of them. The only ones with spines was basically Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger, and one can make the argument that, at least with Kinzinger, he knew he was getting gerrymandered out of his position, so he could at least be on the right side of history. Liz Cheney wasn't. She had a little bit more risk to play on that one. Outcome, 5 of Coins. If MAGA Mike doesn't do what Donald Trump says, MAGA Mike's going to find himself on the outside. Mm-hmm. Trump says, if you support what I want, do what I tell you to, support MAGA, then things will be okay. But if you don't, they're going to toss you out, and he might lead the charge on that one. It's the other thing, and I want to say this card came up too. Christmas time. I get Christmas time because the coins represent the coins in the window. That's a church or a big institution.
Yeah.
And this could be that he wants the government shut down. Unless you can get those major cuts to entitlements, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, all that sort of stuff. If you can't get those cuts, then, or at least that's the goal. Get those cuts. That's what I want. And, the thing is, When those cuts go, if those cuts go in, or shut the government down. If you can't get those cuts, get the government shut down. You'll get those cuts. Trust me on this one,
Yeah,
bro. And people are, yeah, that the people that he would be cutting cannot afford to have those cuts.
exactly.
And the worst part is they're his supporters. His supporters probably benefit way more from those programs than the people. He's not hurting blue people with this. He's hurting red people with this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I saw a short little video where a reporter was questioning a guy at a Trump rally, and he was wearing a T-shirt that had a picture of Trump, and it said "Never surrender."
Jordan has done videos on that too.
Like, can you explain to me what that means? And it would, well, could you know, it like you have no idea what it is that you're doing. You're wearing a T-shirt of a man who has a picture on it when he surrendered, and you say never surrender. Anyway, yeah, it's crazy. Okay, so here's what I got. I started off with the death card. So this is not going to last for any length of time. This is very transactional, very short term. Um, yeah, Mike got in way over his head. This, he thinks that he's smart enough to maneuver around these people. No, they're going to chew him up, spit him out before he even realizes what's going on. Um, this What he has done is he has joined or wants to be a member of a different world. This is a world that he does not belong to. These people have been doing this for a good long time, and they're going to do it, yeah, after you're gone. This is very much transactional, and it has to do with feelings. And I pulled the Queen of Cups, and then I also pulled the King of Cups. So that's what makes me think that, yeah, this is very Trump appealed to his emotions, to his, it's you and me, Mike. We can do this. If if you just play ball with me, we can do this. But I also think that there is Trump as the emperor here. There is something that Trump has that he has shared with Mike Johnson. And it's kind of an ugly truth that Mike Johnson can't really handle.
Chlamydia?
So, huh?
Chlamydia?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. There's, um, how sometimes you can bring something up in a conversation so that the other person knows exactly what you're talking about, but
Yeah.
you've never really said it. Okay.
Yeah.
That was Trump talking to him. We're going to do this, Mike, you and me, we're going to get this done, and blah, 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 blah. Ultimately, whatever their little agreement was is going to come out fast. This guy's not going to last. If he is still there in end of January, I'll be surprised. I'll be very, very surprised. Um, he's kind of he's kind of a patsy more than anything else. He's a stand-in for a little bit of time. Um, yeah, I think things are going to come out about Mike. Things are going to come out about his and things already have about the bank accounts and being the church gets the money, and the church does this and does that and blah blah blah. What, do you go to Walmart to cash your congressman check? Like, yeah, absolutely. Yes, Rose Blue 45 has dirt on Mike.
Yeah, I
And
think so.
yeah. And they're two peas in a pod. So just imagine the worst that you could imagine about Trump, and you're not going to be too far behind with Mike.
Now here's a question for you and for the audience. Chime in too. I keep getting folks on my Mike Johnson reads the last 2 days, especially today's, commenting that there's a link between Mike Johnson and Giselle Maxwell or Jeffrey Epstein. But whenever I do a Google search, I can't find any news stories from the past that link him to either person. So I'm curious, for the folks that are posting that up, where are you getting that information? Because it would be an interesting tie-in, but I can't find it on normal sources, and it makes me concerned that maybe it's a QAnon conspiracy type thing, and I don't want my audience to fall into that rabbit hole if it can be prevented. There may be no connection between the two of them or the three of them at all, other than I get a child pedo thing with Epstein or something really close to it. And I know that Kim from the two of you also got I think when she was channeling, she got the phrase barely legal. So, waiting for that 18th birthday type of thing, but probably lightly grooming up to that point. Now, I can't, and I feel bad saying that, because calling somebody a pedo, a child pedophile, is about the worst thing that you can do. It truly is that's the type of thing that gets you killed in prisons. But no, like that type of thing. It's like a privilege. It's like getting to blow out the candles on the birthday cake, getting to snuff out a pedo in there. So I don't take it lightly when I say that. So just want folks to understand that. But it's like 3 readings I've done on him, and 3 readings I get the same damn thing, and it's the same creepy ass feeling. Entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And Claudia she's right. She said, I get serious pervy vibes from Mike, and his wife has creepy vibes as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
In chat, Walter was saying, sounds like Matty Gates, barely legal was his motto. Yeah, it would be something like that, which could also mean that like Matt Gates, he could find himself in a position where somebody has misrepresented their age.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think all of these things are going to come out, and you know what? Just when you think that, oh my God, this can't get any worse, it will. Yeah. Oh, and Danielle says, I said that when the GOP made him speaker, I didn't think he would last long. Yeah. Not for long, man. Exactly.
And to be really honest, from just putting all the cards down, just from the logical mind coming in, look at what he's facing come January. McCarthy got booted because he worked with the Democrats just to keep spending the way it was and not shutting the government down and kicking the can down the road 45 days. And Johnson just did the same thing. Now, he's trying to frame it that he wants more time to incorporate the MAGA battle plan into the budget. But the logical mind says, go for it. You can put all the most horrific Neanderthal-like, and not to insult any Neanderthals who are watching this, type of low-energy clauses into this budget. When it gets to the Senate, it's dead on arrival. And even if the Senate entertained it, they're going to rewrite it to something fairly normal and kick it back to the House. And if for some reason McConnell freezes and takes 5 Democrats with them so that the Republicans have a majority, they pass it up to Biden. Biden's going to veto it because there's no way he's going to do that. So there's no way that the MAGAs will get their budget items through without shutting down the government. That's the only way they get it through, to cause enough pain to cause the Democrats to cave on it. So that's the collusion course that we're on. If the Republicans at that point then say, we're getting blamed for this, and they're worried about they're worried about the primaries, which are coming up and being blamed for it. They might very well work with the Democrats on something else, or maybe Johnson. Maybe they can convince Johnson to pass it, in which case Johnson's gone by the MAGA side, or they vote to remove Johnson.
Yeah.
And then they have to install a new leader that the Democrats will support, and that new leader has to come in and say, we're just going to pass this budget based on last year's spending and be done with it, get the voting, get it over there, and be done. And I'm still saying it's Liz Cheney, God damn it.
I know.
That she's the most anti-MAGA conservative out there, that the conservatives will still back. And MAGA will never, ever, ever support her, not in a million years. So,
thank you, Glenn.
And I guess my other last thing I've been dying to ask my viewers this is that I get a few people saying they don't trust Liz Cheney. What do you think she's going to do? She's got no power. Even if she's the speaker, she has no power because everything has to be bipartisan at that point. MAGA will block everything. So only the most boring, necessary things will get done. There will be no policy that's done that's not bipartisan.
Yeah, exactly. And while
and I said a bad word, I'm sorry.
Yeah. While she is not one of my favorite Republicans, I do give her credit for what she did January 6th. She put her political career on the line and said, no, I'm drawing the line and I'm not crossing it. This is where it is. So, she is at least willing to work with the people across the aisle. I like that.
Yeah.
I do like that. So, I
do not like her politics, and I get it. She voted 97% of the time. People say she voted with Trump 97% of the time. That's not really true. She voted with the Republicans 97% of the time. The Republicans were calling the shots, and Donald Trump was just steering the boat, or he was sitting on the mast, leading the charge, but it was the Republicans doing all the work underneath them. And she was the number two or number three Republican. She's supposed to toe the party line. The Republicans are really, really good at that, closing ranks and sticking together, and then keeping their bickering and arguing behind closed doors so nobody saw it. So there's a lot of solidarity there. But that's out the door now. With MAGA in charge, that is absolutely out the door.
Yeah, exactly. I would, Hilda, I don't know. I would give her the opportunity to step in, to take over, and to be the adult in the room, and to say, okay, enough is enough. We're not doing this anymore. You go to your corner. You go over there. Each one of you is in timeout. The first one who speaks is going to be meeting me in the back with the belt. But this, taking over and saying enough.
Picture, if you will, and I'm sure everybody's gone through this, and this drove me nuts as a kid. When the teacher's gone and you have a substitute teacher, how poorly the class acted out when there was a substitute teacher, like there was no consequences. Now, picture them all being crazy and stuff like that, and the substitute walks out, at lunchtime, they're out. When they come back in, and there's the teacher again. And she's like, I've been watching you on video all day. I know exactly what you've been doing, who's been doing what. And the moment that's going to happen. Oh, it's going to be glorious.
Yes.
That is not the person you cross.
No. I think that would be absolutely fantastic. So, all righty then. We are at 1 hour, 13 minutes. Hey, we really got into things. So thank you so much, you guys, for spending your Tuesday evening with us, for joining us on Taco Tuesdays, which I absolutely love. And we will see you here 2 weeks' time, which is going to be in December, early part of December, 5th or 6th. And I'm sure that we're going to have lots to talk about then.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, don't forget to like, share, subscribe on my channel. Go over and do the same thing on David's channel, because God knows he needs the viewers. He needs
Yes, I'm floundering these last after YouTube wiped out all the troll farms that were following me.
yeah. So go over, give him a little love, make him feel
So we're
good.
kind of bone here, man.
Yeah, exactly. And in the meantime, yeah, love doing this with you, David. It is so much fun. I look forward to every second Tuesday because it's just so much fun.
Thank you, Marina. I really
And
appreciate it.
good.
Happy
And
Thanksgiving, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful,
yes,
safe Thanksgiving and ignore the drunk uncle that spouts out politics.
absolutely. Absolutely. All right.
Or
Take
be
care.
the drunk uncle. There you go. That's where
That's
they get all the fun.
it. All right.